Howdy, everyone. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, this is just your warning to let you know that there's going to be a lot of topics discussed in these podcasts that may not be topical for younger audiences. And there's going to be a lot of swearing as well, which means that if you're under the age of 18, please don't fucking listen to this. With that out of the way, enjoy the show. And we're live.
Hello.
Traffic on the O5 is,
Wait,
What
this
a-
is a traffic. This is a traffic station. Shit, I don't want to be here.
Oh, lovely. Only 5 seconds in and we're already going to hell.
Look at what you're having us talk about, and then say that again.
Oh yeah, right. I totally forgot the original topic of what this is all about. It was supposed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so much stuff has happened since we originally said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this." That I was just like, "Oh yeah, right. That was the original topic."
We're talking about the funny show with the funny fuck words. That narrows it down so much.
Yeah.
No, it's the topic is, according to Wikipedia, a 2011, no, that's the manga. I already messed it up. 2010,
No, you.
anime from Studio Gainax. Panty and Stocking with garter belt.
Rest in peace to whatever remains of Gainax to this day.
Not much. If I'm, I don't even think. Is Gainax still around? Or
Gainax is still around, but it's
Gainax is still around.
It's pretty bare bones. They haven't made anything since. God, what was their last thing? Because, like, Kara's the one, like, Hideki Anno's company is the one that's been making, like, all of the, Evangelion movies. The
Let's
last.
see, Gainax.
Masamune Datanickel, which was an OVA from 2016 to 2018.
Wow.
Okay, but what was the last thing that they made that people actually gave a shit about?
Oh. Oh, if we're going down that route.
They're already dead.
I'm gonna say Gurren Lagann was the last thing they did that people gave a shit about.
I mean, to be fair, they made Medica Box in 2012.
Oh shit, yeah, true.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the last thing that Gainax was actually relevant for. So, yeah, RIP. They haven't made anything really, like, all that interesting in a decade. Jesus.
Rest in pepperonis, my pile of trash.
However, good news. The director of the anime, Hiroyuki Imaishi, went on to be one of the founding members of... Take a guess?
Trigger.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yes, Trigger.
the, gun show people.
Yes. Who are actually confirmed to be the studio working on season 2.
It's about fucking time.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, because, like, I don't know, Trigger's had some good stuff, but, I want to say their track record since 2018 has been pretty hit or miss.
What's the most recent Studio Trigger? I think the most recent Studio Trigger thing I've watched was Promare, if I'm not mistaken. And I really like Promare, so...
I still need to see Promare.
Promare's really good. But, like, the last thing that they really did that interested me was, like, the sequel to Triple S Gridman. Dyna Xenon?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which was also apparently their 10th anniversary project as a studio, which I'm just like, holy shit, Trigger's been around for a decade, what the hell?
Crazy, right?
They did animation production assistance on Steven Universe?
That they did.
What?
Oh, it was that episode. That actually makes sense. It was the mindfulness episode.
Interesting.
What?
And they also did the opening animation for, like, Shantae and the Seven Sirens back in 2019. That's awesome.
That I knew about. I knew they did something. I knew they did an opening for Shantae.
And they also did the opening animation for OKKO as well. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
So,
Panty and Stocking. Like in case
how
in,
how the
how do you
hell?
just how do you describe what Panty and Stocking is about?
I swear, I just go back to the original, like, way that it came about to begin with. Didn't the creators, like, go to the US and, like, watch, like, a bunch of South Park? And then they were inspired from that to make Panty and Stocking?
I wouldn't be surprised because Panty and Stockings style of humor is kind of a reminiscence to stuff made by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, South Park specifically. So
I mean, yeah, it's just like the more I think about it, the more I'm just like the more like back in the day I used to think, "Oh, there's no way that sounds like a really bad rumor." But now it's just like yeah, now it's thinking about it a lot more and going back and watching like old episodes of South Park again. I'm just like, yeah, I can see where they took all that inspiration from.
According to Wikipedia, the concept of the anime uh was thrown around amongst the staff while drinking.
makes sense.
I mean,
Like I don't think anyone could logically come up with this while sober.
Well, either that or you'd have to like maybe, but they committed.
Yeah.
Like how the hell does a show like this actually get made? And maybe that's just like I will absolutely say I have like Western bias, you know.
hmm
Like it's so
Funny enough, I am aware that if I'm not mistaken, Panty and Stocking did gain more appeal in the West than it did in its home country of Japan. So
I am not surprised.
yeah, it's yeah,
In
honestly, it's just like yeesh.
I like the biggest reason why I consider Panty and Stocking so legendary in terms of anime is because it could not be it could not get made in its in like as it exists. It could not get made like this year.
and yet they're gonna try.
How?
I mean, people say, "Oh, it can't be made today," but I'd argue that like it honestly could potentially. Well, I say that, but that's just like if the original season were made today, if it was like a brand new IP, it would just be completely decimated. To be honest.
Probably, but I do still think there's people say, "Oh, vulgar comedy can't be made today." It
Which
totally
is straight up
can.
untrue.
There's plenty of great vulgar comedies that, especially in animated form, that have been made in more recent years that have found some success. Like off the top of my mind, F is for Family was one.
Mm-hmm.
Both Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss definitely come to mind.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think of what like I think you're always going to have those like the more vulgar adult comedies no matter how far into the future we are. It's just something that's a
Yeah.
staple of entertainment at this point. So it's just there's a clear distinction between the ones that do it right and the ones that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yes. I find like it's I find like this show's like journey so like fascinating and like Jazzy, I'm pretty sure you know as much if not more than me off the top of my head, but like the English dub production
Yeah, the
what
English.
like it got picked up by Funimation in 2009, 2010.
Yeah, and like not too long after it was released in Japan, Funimation got it, and they made their dub, which, while the dub has a few aspects that I'd say have aged poorly, namely the casting of Garter Belt, um, and that's not a knock at Chris Sabat as a person. That's just
No. But
you
like
cast a white dude as a black man. But
that's pretty much like the thing that I mentioned. Like it's not the vulgarity that would mean Panty and Stocking would not be able to be made today, but like choices like casting and direction choices like that would not fly
right.
currently. And it's the fact that it was made uh over 10 years ago, like that environment was what allowed it to exist as it is.
Right, yeah, like there are a few jokes in Panty and Stocking that have obviously aged poorly, not due to the fault of the writing, but mainly just due to time does that to comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's inevitable. It will always happen. There's stuff that we joke about today, I'm sure, that we'll look back years later and realize that was not okay to joke about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. It's how comedy progresses. It's just how comedy progresses, and it does make me curious how both the original Japanese production and the inevitable English dub will handle new Panty and Stocking material. Like, how will the writing change to reflect what works for humor today?
I'll be honest, it's that sorry, go on.
I was more just gonna say that, like, the more that I think about, like, the actual reality of living in a world where a sequel to Panty and Stocking actually exists, there are so many ways that potentially you could go about it. But, like, one of
Hmm.
the big things I'm curious about is that, are they actually going to continue, like, where. Are they actually going to legitimately, like, have that cliffhanger from the end of the series first time around actually be the proper continuation of it, and they're gonna continue on from there? Or are they just gonna be like, lol, it was a joke?
Honestly, I kind of hope they do the latter because I thought the fucking post credit scene in Panty and Stocking was fucking stupid. Like,
I'm.
just make it like the way they should handle it is the way they handle like the ending scenes in the older Friday the 13th movies where it's like, "Oh, there's a zombie boy. Never mind, it was a dream. Everyone's the people who made it to the end of the movie are fine."
I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
say that, but I distinctly remember, like, watching the series as it came out, like, week to week. And when it got to that episode, everyone was just like, oh my god, are they actually gonna do, like, something more serious for a second season? And I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
I don't know. I just saw that ending and I thought it was the dumbest fucking thing. I don't like I'm just someone who's sitting here just going just ignore it if you're going to do a second season. There's no point. It's a terrible idea to have Stalking be a demon. Maybe I'm biased because I'm stalking anarchy trash, as anyone who casually follows me on social media will attest to. But I don't know. I feel like they can just ignore that and no one would even care, honestly. It's not this absolutely vital thing we need to know. Like,
No.
I mean,
Honestly,
fair.
I think it could be. I can see avenues and timelines for it being really funny either way. But like ultimately, I do think they'll probably wind up uh, retconning the post-credit scene somehow, and like absolutely, they're going to reference it in some form.
they'll probably either do that or resolve the whole thing in like the first episode or something.
I'd say like the first 10 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, like not even a minute, and they figure out what's wrong,
Yeah.
how to exorcise the demon from stalking and bring Panny back to life.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we just put it back together. It was not that hard at all.
Yeah.
It's ugh. But no, I feel like the best episodes of the original Panty and Stocking were the ones that mainly focused on just the characters being themselves. The appeal of Panty and Stocking for me was always the characters. The characters are immensely entertaining. And my favorite episode of the show, I forgot the name. Hold on, let me pull up an episode list so I could give an episode name. Because I swear I don't. When it comes to Panty and Stocking, I remember episodes, but not the names of them. It's really weird.
Honestly, same. And I largely chalk that up to the fact that every episode is technically 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a very poor memory as it is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, it's
My
just like I'm just like I vividly remember like a lot of the episodes for it, like honestly, just off the top of my head, like one of my favorite episodes, or at least one part of one of my favorite episodes, has to be the one where it's just like they, it's just an outright Transformers parody.
that one's like my second favorite. My absolute favorite is called Nothing to Roam, where it's just Panty and Stocking dicking around in the living room and bitching about that they're hungry. That is the entire
Oh, that one,
episode.
yes.
It takes place entirely in one room, and it's great. Because it's just the characters being themselves and bouncing off each other.
Oh yeah, right, that one.
It's funny. My favorite episode is entirely different from the two of yours.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is the episode that pretty much half of it is a full-on Gainax fight through a school with scanty and knee socks.
Ah, the Scanty knee socks. That one's a really good one. That one's in my top 5 easily.
Oh yeah, the Scanny and Knee Socks debut episode.
I'd forgotten whether that was the debut episode, so I didn't want to address it as such
it
if
is.
I wound up
Yeah,
sticking my foot in my mouth, yeah.
Yeah, that is their debut. And what a debut it was.
The scene with the car driving straight through the limousine lives in my head rent free.
The animation on that alone is just like, mwah. Like, for a series that makes you feel like it was made on the cheap, it looks so good in moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it's really funny, isn't it? Because it's reminiscent of Western cartoons in that sort of way, like the swapping between very low budget stuff and having and just like this sort of seamless switching into like 10 seconds of badassery. At least in the cartoons that come to mind for me, so.
Right. But yeah, I'll say yeah, Nothing to Room is my favorite episode. If I were to choose a least favorite episode, just to be a bit critical, I would say either DC
By all means.
Confidential, which is pretty much just a clip show, and it's that reused, and a really heavily budgeted episode that just kind of sucks. And the other, I'm trying to find it, I forget the name of it, but it's basically an episode where most of it takes place in what I think is supposed to be a parody of Satoshi Kon's animation.
Oh, that one.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah,
Panty and
yeah.
Stocking are only at the end of it, and for most of it, you're focusing on this really boring character voiced by boring Chuck Huber.
I forgot
Wait.
that was Chuck Hubert.
Oh gosh, I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah. Oh god, that was like so early on into the series that I was just like, wait.
Yeah, it was so bad. It's not a good episode, and it doesn't. It's like I said, it's trying to parody like a kind of Satoshi Kon esque animation, something out of like
Right.
Paranoia Agent or Perfect Blue, and it doesn't do it well.
Yeah, that episode, both segments of that episode are really not good in my opinion. Like
What was the other?
Raiders of the Nasal Dark.
Oh, the one with Dick McNugget in it. Is it ironic that two of the worst episodes of this series have Vic Mignogna and Chuck Huber in them, respectively?
Oh yeah.
Respectively.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything about that, but yeah.
How pathetic.
I would say it's like perfect timing for them both to just be on the same episode, so it's just like, yep, I'll just skip right past this one. So it's just like, so you can just skip.
Vic lost.
Yeah, you can skip. Yeah, no. The nasal one is just bad because it's just a nose-picking joke for 11 minutes that's never funny.
Yeah, and I'm just like, look, I get it. It's nose picking is disgusting, okay? Look, you can do so much more with this. Why are you doing this? And I'm just like, come on, do better. Like, for fuck's sake.
And then the other one is bad Satoshi Kon parody.
Also, not just a bad Satoshi Kon parody, but it's also just like, also gross out humor because it was a ghost made of vomit.
Oh yeah, oh my god.
Yeah,
Jesus
two disgusting ghosts in the same episode, back to back.
They were really putting their A game into that one, weren't they?
I would say they were just like they were just like dumping out all of the shit in that episode, but they did it literally in the first episode.
I didn't mind the first episode.
Yeah, but also it was a literal toilet monster in the first part.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just like, that. It sets the tone off really good because it's just like, oh yeah, toilet monster. Guess this is what it is. I guess this is what the show is, I suppose.
Yeah, and like I said, DC Confidential, which takes place near the end of the series, that one's really bad. It's just a clip show plus scanty and knee socks incest. So there you go.
Yeah, I was also gonna say, lovely. But also at the same time, I wonder how they're gonna play with the idea that, well, because this show is really horny, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, a lot of adult cartoons with this tone are, so.
Yeah, but it's also just
honestly like.
Oh yeah.
No, I was just going to say that the horniness is not what. Like, I don't have a problem with it.
Me neither. I mean, again, I watch a lot of I watch a lot of shows that are just like this, so it's never bothersome to me.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, I was just gonna say, I literally watched this show when I was 14, and like, it barely did anything to me with all like everything that was happening because I was so desensitized at that point in time. But the more I go back and watch it, it's just like, are they going to like tone it down for the new series, or are they just gonna like go all in and just be like, fuck it, go full horny, baby?
Well, like I said, with the success of shows like with the success of a lot of adult shows, adult cartoons like the ones I mentioned earlier, especially in a world where something with as much horny humor as fucking Hell of a Boss can get popular, I don't see why they can't continue it in Panty and Stocking.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I just keep on thinking, oh yeah, right, Hell of a Boss exists.
Right, I think that show, in its existence at this time, shows that you can still do Panty and Stocking more or less unfiltered in this day and age.
Yeah, and I do think it is important also not to undersell the amount of support that, like, at this point, Crunchyroll has backing the season 2.
Right.
Like, they know what fans want, they've had 10 years to watch the to watch the Panty and Stocking fandom just continue on with only um with only 12, 13 episodes. 13 episodes.
13 episodes plus an OVA that was just like a collection of shorts.
Yeah. Like that is impressive. So like they would not have considered, much less announced, a season 2 without being fairly confident that they had their finger on the pulse. So honestly, I'm more excited and not as much worried. I'm more interested in seeing what a Panty and Stocking anime in 2022-2023 is going to look like.
I get the
and with
sorry.
No, and with the amount of talent that is currently still around and also was not around before, I can see, like, ultimately I think it mainly comes down to I'm very eager to see who the writing cast is.
Fair enough.
Especially
because
given
there are some go on.
I mean, I was just gonna say, especially given the fact that Hiroyuki Imaishi also made, like, his only 2 directing credits as a member of Studio Trigger were both for Kill la Kill and Space Patrol Luluco. So if he's returning for, I'm assuming he's returning for the 2nd season of Panty and Stocking as a director, I guess we have an idea about where it might be leading into, given the themes of both of those shows and how they ended up going.
Yes, lesbians.
I mean,
I've only seen Kill la Kill of those 2. So.
I mean, I watched Space Patrol Luluco as it was airing, and I was just like, this is just a safer work version of Panty and Stocking.
Look, when people talk to me about the themes of Kill la Kill, you gotta understand, I'm wondering if they mean the really deep themes that I feel like I really had to dissect this entire fucking series to get, or just the obvious one of lesbians.
I mean, we talked about that one bit at the end of DC Confidential, and I'm just like, that reminds me of the fact that incest was a thing in goddamn Kill la Kill as well.
Wait, was it?
Yeah, remember, like, the whole Ragyuin molesting Satsuki stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
But that was shown as bad, while in fucking the Scanny and Nisox thing, it was played for comedy. I think. It's been a while since I watched Kill la Kill, so...
Yeah, I remember it being seen as pretty bad. Also because, Audrey, one of my partners, basically, stated that, oh yeah, I watched Kill la Kill again finally, or I think they watched it for the first time, actually, and they were just like, holy shit, that scene, and I'm just like, yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
But also, like, Space Patrol Luluco is also, like, a time. It's like, I remember watching it as it was airing, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Because it's, like, 11 minutes long each episode. So imagine, like, one section of a Panty and Stocking episode as its own episode. That's pretty much just what Space Patrol Luluco is. It's wild. But also at the same time, I kept on thinking to myself, my god, this just feels like if they did Panty and Stocking again, I feel like this would be similar to, like, the animation style, or at least, like, to, like, what they would probably do, like, absolutely go nuts with it. And the more I think about that, the more I think about Kill la Kill being made by the same people as well, I'm just like, holy fucking shit, this is gonna be a time.
Yeah.
We've drawn the Bermuda Triangle.
And also
Panty
even,
Stocking season 2 is somewhere in here.
I mean, also she also did Promare as well, so sky's the limit, I guess.
Promare was also very gay, so
Seems like Ishi is really just like his whole new thing is just like it's either gay or it's really fucking nuts. So the more I think about him doing Panty and Stocking again, I'm just like,
wait. There's a choice? I thought it was always both.
I mean, I almost forgot to say, or it's both.
We might
yeah, I
be
was
biased.
gonna say, sometimes it's not a choice because Kill la Kill was both crazy and gay. Promare was crazy and gay.
Space Patrol Lulico, unfortunately, was just crazy. It's unfortunately pretty heterosexual. And I just completely just took it off the cards for both of you, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
Oh god, we really are biased, aren't we? It's just like, oh, this series is crazy, but it doesn't have gay in it, so I'm not interested.
No gay, I sleep.
No gay? Shame.
Jesus Christ.
Gay? Real shit.
I mean, to be fair, going on a little bit of a tangent here, like going off the complete topic of what we were talking about right now, that's literally just been the theme of like literally every show I've watched with Audrey. Because the first show we watched together back in 2020, like tail end of 2020, was they showed me Revolutionary Girl Utena for the first time. And ever since then,
Oh boy.
the themes of every show we've watched ever since then are magical girls, gay shit, or dumb shit, or a mix of all three.
I was gonna say that if there better be a mix, like
There's always a mix, Jazzy. We literally got done watching the second season of Demon Girl Next Door last night.
I haven't watched that one actually.
Neither have I.
It's good shit. It is also very fucking gay. Look, the relationship between the two main characters, it's just like, it is the best shit, to be honest. And both me and Audrey have basically said we need to get a commission as the both of them at some point. And I'm just like, yes, yes, yes.
Alright.
I mean, we've also talked about fucking cosplaying Utena and Anthe together, so like, there's that.
Wow.
Fun.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, and I also showed them Madoka Magica as well for the first time. After they were just like,
no.
After they were just like, oh, I don't know, Chloe, I've heard a lot about that. I don't want my expectations to be ruined. And I'm just like,
Oh no.
and then we watched it, and then we got to episode 3, and they're just like, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake!
Did you want to traumatize them?
To be fair, the shit that they've watched is, it's pretty fucked. They watched, Needless. They've watched and read the manga of Needless, and they've watched a whole lot more fucked up shit than I have, to be honest. So, it's not me traumatizing them, it's more the fact that it's just, they're just like, oh yeah, I guess this is okay, I guess. Because, like, the more I'm just... Because, like, if I really wanted to traumatize them, I'd have to go to, like, some really dark shit, to be honest. But, I can't find any dark shit like that we could watch as, like, a weekly show, to be honest.
Mr. Incredible Grey Tones.
Oh my god. Look, I feel... Look, they've been trying to get me to watch, like, goddamn Flip Flappers for the longest period of time, and I'm just like, I don't know. But I get the feeling it's getting even more closer to the eventual Flip Flappers watch every time we pick a show, and it's their choice next, and I'm just like, oh great, is Flip Flappers gonna be on that list? And they've just messaged me, and it's just like, yep, it's on the list. And I'm just like, oh great. But yeah, like, it's, listen, most of the stuff I watch with my partners is just like, it's either dumb shit, gay shit, or crazy shit, or a mix of all of them. or I guess I'm watching Legend of Korra with my fiance Cass. We're starting that today. And I know that Jazzy, you're just sitting there going, oh, like, oh god. But I'm just like, yes, I've been waiting for this because we just finished, like, ATLA, and I hadn't watched ATLA in, like, 10 years.
I'm sorry, I don't get Korra. I still haven't seen seasons 3 and 4 to be fair, but I've been taking a long break after I finished season 2 like a few months ago because my brain fucking died after watching it. Like, I'm sorry. I forgive me for having skepticism that a series that had something as bad as season 2 and the Dark Avatar gets any better. I can't force myself to believe that. I just can't.
I don't think Panty and Stocking Season 2 is going to be the Korra of Panty and Stocking Season 1.
Here's hoping. If I'd be sad if it was the Korra of Panty and Stocking.
I mean, to be fair, I was just gonna be like, yep, get it out of your system. But also at the same time, I doubt it'll be that bad, to be honest, but the more that I think about it, and the more I'm just like, oh yeah, right, that was a bit wasn't it? But again...
Don't think.
Yeah.
Do what I do. Take one brain cell and throw it away.
You mean the single brain cell left?
Yes!
Great, now I have to share a brain cell with one of my partners now. This is gonna be great. We just pass the brain cell between each other and just go like, okay, honey, you can have it today.
I see this as an absolute win.
Look, I call myself a fucking bimbo as a dumb little joke, but if you took my single brain cell away from me, I'm almost certain that would just be me. Oh, Jesus. And also, thank you for bringing it back to the topic of Panty and Stocking after I just derailed the entire topic.
It's all good. Like, we're just kind of talking about whatever at this. We're just talking about gay shit now.
I mean,
it was always going to come to this.
I mean, to be honest, it's us. Like, if we're not talking about gay shit, like, I feel like the people listening can just be like, yeah, they're not really there. It's clothes.
Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior She-Ra and the Princesses of Power?
Oh.
Yes!
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
I showed it to a friend of mine recently, and she really loved it. And there was just this point where, like, through the first few seasons, she was like, God, fuck Catra. I hope there's a point where she gets taken down a peg or two, and we're getting through season 2, and I'm sitting there laughing in the background.
Oh, yeah. It was actually one of the first shows I showed to Jem, and she has gone on record as stating, I'm not really that big into animation stuff, and then I showed her She-Ra, the Princesses of Power, and then she was just like, after about 3 episodes, she was just like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Let's keep on going. And then, like, it got to the point where she visited for the first time before she moved in, and then we binge-watched throughout, like, middle of season 3 all the way through to the end in, like, a weekend, and we both just and she agreed it was just, like, so good.
Oh, yeah.
I still need to see She-Ra in any capacity.
Oh, you'll enjoy it. It's very gay. It is built from the ground up to be gay.
It is such good shit. Also, it has... Forgive me if I'm wrong. Is Bo non-binary?
Bo isn't non-binary, but they do have a non-binary character in season 4 with Double Trouble. So.
Oh yes, Double Trouble. Double Trouble is, I know 100% Double Trouble is non-binary, but I was just like, wait, Bo always gave off those vibes, to be honest.
I could see Bo as potentially gender non-conforming. I'm aware that they've stated like word of the writer stated that he is bi, so there's that. There is some queer. No one in She-Ra is straight though. That's the thing that needs to be understood from the get-go, is that no one in this series is straight unless stated otherwise.
I mean, my headcanon is that the main group of 4 at the very end just become a polycule, to be honest. But that's just me projecting.
Maybe. I don't know. I could see maybe She-Ra and Catra having I could imagine actually Glimmer having a polycule where she's with Bo and also with both Dora and Catra.
Because, like, I could totally see... Oh, God. This is now a cursed thought that came into my head. If you go on that line of logic, who's the top and who's the bottom in all 4 of them?
Who's the top and bottom? Okay, so the confirmed relationships are, of course, Adora and Catra and Glimmer and Bo. I think the top in Adora and Catra is Adora, because I cannot imagine Catra topping. I just can't. She spent so much of the series just being angry and wanting to be the dominant one, in everything. But by the end is just done.
I could totally see Catra being a bratty sub, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that. Bo and Glimmer... God, they both give off bottom energy. Shit. I think though, Bo could top. Bo I could see as a bottom leaning switch. So
I feel like Glimmer would be at the top in that relationship. Cause
this is a very intellectual debate here. Who tops?
I love the fact that Missy
Bo or Glimmer.
I understand why Missy can't really contribute to this because they haven't watched She-Ra, but also at the same time...
I'm just over here with my head in my hands. I am loving this.
Okay, so in terms of other couples, who do you think tops? Seahawk or Mermista?
Good question.
I'm gonna say Mermista.
I want to say Mermista as well, to be honest, because
Seahawk is very much a bottom.
Yes, Seahawk could be a power bottom, potentially.
I could see it. Because the dude's just so extra and flamboyant, so...
Okay, what else are the canon couples? Or have we discussed all the canon couples?
Word of God says Perfuma and Scorpia are a couple.
Oh... Scorpia is definitely the top.
I see Scorpia as a bottom, actually.
Really?
I don't see Scorpia as a dominant person. But then again, neither is Perfuma. Shit, this might be a case where one of them's a switch again.
Yeah, I could see, I could totally see, when push came to shove, that Scorpia, with the size difference between the two of them, could definitely be the top.
Yeah, I could see it. And then, of course, you have one couple that's been canon since day one, Natasha and Spinnerella. I think Spinny's a bottom. No. Spinny's a top. Natasha's bottom. Natasha has bottom energy.
I'm just trying to think about that again. I'm just like, oh yeah, I could totally, honestly, the more I think about it, Spinnerella is probably the bottom, yeah.
Yeah. But we're still on the fence about Bo and Glimmer. Shit.
Look, I'm just... Oh, yes?
People listening, vote below. Who do you think is the top in this relationship?
I will put a poll in the comment section below. Who do you think tops? Bo or Glimmer? We need to figure this out.
This needs extensive scientific research.
Oh, Jesus. Honestly, I just want to bring up one non-canon couple because they spent so much time together, and it's just like, they probably had to do it at some point to let out frustrations, or at least Catra had to do it at some point to let out frustrations. Catra and Scorpia.
I'd say Catra would be the top in that relationship.
She would most definitely just be doing it to let out all her frustration, just be like, oh, god damn it! Why the fuck can't I be Dora? Ah!
Basically, the entire series is just Catra angry she can't be with Adora. And she's lived a life of people manipulating and abusing her, so she's ultimately projected that mentality into her own life, and ultimately needs to figure out that shit's bad. That is the story. That is the story of She-Ra.
Just a little bit, yeah. Like, there's obviously...
Oh,
you good over there, Missy?
oh yeah. Listen, I don't think.
It was more the fact that you just came through with like big old glitchy robot sounds for a second there, and I'm just like, whoa, you okay there?
Oh no. Oh yeah, I'm fine.
The robotification has begun.
Damn it, Mass Effect warned me about this.
Oh no.
They warned me about the Reapers, and I didn't listen.
How is that gameplay going for you, Jazzy?
With Mass Effect, I replayed Mass Effect a bunch. It's like my comfort game, and this replay is going well. I'm one of those boring Mass Effect players who doesn't make too many different decisions each playthrough, mainly because I don't like being a bad guy. I don't like being a bad person in these games, because unlike something like Elder Scrolls, I actually feel bad for doing evil things in this game.
I mean, I feel too bad about whenever I end up doing it, and I'm just like, no, I take it back.
But that's because, like, the writing in Mass Effect makes the characters so goddamn likable that I don't want to hurt any of them, so...
Yeah, and I'm just like, the more I think about trying to do bad things in that game, the more I'm just like, oh, wait, no, I don't want to do that.
Now, occasionally I'll do bad things to the evil characters, but they're evil. Fuck them.
I mean...
I need to cause some chaos.
I mean, this is you we're talking about. You're pure chaos, Jazzy. If you don't let out at least some form of chaos at least once or twice, you'll probably explode.
Well, of course. So, when Mass Effect 2 has the scene where you can push the guy out the window, do you think I'm just not going to do that? It's a window!
If there's a window and somebody is right next to it, logic dictates, yeet.
Yeah, Shepard must eat. No, like there's a few renegade decisions throughout that entire trilogy where it's like, how could I not do this? Like near the end of Mass Effect 3, there's a renegade decision where you can just shatter a dude's sword with your bare hand. I'm going to do that. I am very much going to do that.
I do not doubt that, to be honest, but also at the same time, part of me is just like, oh, Jesus. Just...
I don't know. When the renegade decision is too fucking cool, I gotta do it.
Honestly, yeah, my Paragon routes have sometimes been completely fucked up. I've never gone 100% Paragon because there's always, like, one decision I need to do that's purely done with, like, with Renegade. That's just, like, the most, like, batshit insane one, and my brain is just like, do it.
Yeah, with Mass Effect 1, it's mostly, like, I think I'd mostly go Renegade during any conversation with the Council, because the Council fucking pisses me off.
Now the
Like,
council has given us a decision, but granted, it's a fucking stupid decision. I've elected not to do it.
That's pretty much the end of the game right there.
Kind of is, to be honest.
I think my favorite part of the original Mass Effect, though, is that if you like leveled up your charm and or intimidation, you can outright skip the penultimate fight and just convince Saren to just off himself. The winning move was not to play.
The winning move was just waiting for the villain to just be like, fuck this, I can't do it anymore. Yeet.
Am I the baddie?
The real winning move was just to realize, oh, wait, I'm actually the bad person.
And then with Mass Effect 2, I think the biggest thing that prevents me from going full Paragon is that there are times where telling Cerberus to go fuck themselves is a renegade decision, but I'm always gonna tell Cerberus to go fuck themselves.
I mean, honestly, any game where it's just like you can tell like any member of the group, any member of any side of the group to just be all like, man, fuck this. That's always just like the winning move to me.
Mm-hmm. There's also like a renegade move you can do during the mission where you're recruiting Garrus, where like you can just kill a dude while he's in the middle of repairing the ship boss of that area. And if you do that, that boss will start with half health. So of course I'm going to do it. It gives me an advantage.
Those are always just some of the best ones as well, the more I think about it, because it's just like, oh yeah, right. Actual decisions that actually impact the game as a whole. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, with Mass Effect 3, you have the fact that one of the renegade moves is that you just shatter a motherfucker's sword with your bare hand.
Look, for all the bad things about Mass Effect 3, I fucking love that one, to be honest.
I love most of Mass Effect 3. I love most of that game.
Most of that game. And then you get to the last bit, and then it's just like, aw, great.
I'm going to hot take. I don't completely hate the last 10 minutes. Probably because I played the post-update version, so I didn't play it original release, so I played it once they had an update that kind of expanded on the ending a bit, and I didn't think it was that bad, but I also thought it left a lot to be desired. But also, you have to understand, I was playing this when the Legendary Edition came out. I wasn't waiting for these games for years at a time, so...
I feel like it would be a lot worse in the long run, given all of that context. It's just like, oh, you're one of the people that went through the entire series from 2008 through to 2012, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if I had that perspective, I probably would have been a lot more negative towards this ending. But also keep in mind that the Legendary Edition came with all the DLC, so I was able to play shit like Citadel, which was so goddamn fun that I didn't care how the rest of the game went.
Yeah, it keeps on reminding me I need to, like, replay the Legendary... I need to go through and actually complete my Legendary Edition run again, because, like, I keep on saying to myself, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick it up again. And I've been saying that for like 5 months now, and I'm just like, I really need to do that, actually.
Yeah, like, it's how I played these games for the first time, and I had a very fun time going through all of them. Like, yeah, I thought the ending of 3 left a lot to be desired, but I still massively enjoyed all 3 games, and I really couldn't tell you which one was my favorite. I fucking adored all of them. Warts and all, so...
You have sold me on playing Mass Effect.
Good.
Well, I'm glad that throughout all of this chaos that stemmed from us, like, talking about goddamn Panty and Stocking, we not only managed to go on to a goddamn discussion about gay shit, and then go to Mass Effect, and then circle back around to the beginning all over again, somehow.
Remember, vote in the comments.
Yes, we do need, as we're wrapping up with this, actually do, like, give us a response to that in the comments, or, like, the poll or whatever future Chloe's gonna be doing with this. Somewhere down below, vote on who do you think the top is in the relationship, Glimmer or Beau. Because we also talked about that in this as well, and the more I think about what we've talked about today, it's just like, holy shit.
We talked about a lot more than what we were going into, so...
Honestly...
But also, one last thing on the Mass Effect deal.
Okay.
One last thing. Is it bad that when I looked at all the romanceable characters that were available in the first one, and by that I mean 3, 3 characters, I immediately went to Liara because 1, gay option, but 2, I recognized the voice immediately was Ali Hillis, and that is Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII, who I had a massive crush on. So I was like, oh shit, I have to go with her. That's the only reason.
Oh god, I have opinions on fucking Final Fantasy XIII, but that's a topic for another time.
I'm not a big fan of it, but I love Lightning and I love Ali Hillis's voice performance. So when I met Liara and heard Ali Hillis's wonderful voice, I was like, "Yep, this is who I'm going for."
Oh, trust me, my topic on, like, my discussion on Final Fantasy 13 is complex as well, because there's some bits I love and there's some bits I really hate, but again, topic
Same.
for another time, because we've nearly been discussing all this
Sequel
for
10 years later, just like Panty and Stocking.
Thank you for circling it around, but I was also going to say, we've literally almost been talking for an hour now, and I feel like if I go on to the topic of Final Fantasy 13, this is going to go for another hour.
We're about to double that shit.
Yeah, I was about to say. So
Yeah, and I need to get going, so...
Yeah. So before we go on another goddamn ramble, I feel like this is where we should probably leave it for now. But yes, if you have enjoyed this, please let us know in the comments, leave a like, or wherever I'm going to be posting this up on YouTube or whatever. Let us know what you think about this. Potentially we might be doing more of this if it actually goes well, because I've had fun doing this with y'all, and I would really like to make this, like, semi-regular, I guess. I don't know.
Same.
But yes, thank you all for listening. I've been Chloe.
I'm Jazzy.
I am Missy.
And thank you all for listening, and catch y'all later.